am Wendy Rogge, and I'm going to present Hill-ROM to you. Hill-ROM was founded in 1969, and the current CEO is John Greisch. Hill-ROM has joined with several companies to provide exceptional quality products in the healthcare field. An example is the joining with Sonosite, which added a handheld ultrasonic unit to the labor and delivery sector of the medical field. Hill-ROM has just introduced a new bed surface that prevents pressure ulcers from forming while a patient is immobile. Hill-ROM is constantly innovating and is now waiting on FDA approval for a surgical technology that uses MRI to assist surgeons to find the patient's anatomy while they're doing their surgical procedures. Their initial products started at providing medical beds, lifts, non-invasive devices, and blood pressure monitoring machines. Hill-ROM has three top competitors, which are Stryker, Medtronic, and Getinge. Hill-ROM has become a leading global medical provider under the current CEO, who is known to be a great leader by his employees. Recently, the CEO has given his resignation and is looking to replace with either internal or external candidates. Given this new resignation, a concern arises that customer and employee satisfaction will decrease. I have researched further to investigate if a smooth transition can occur if the board of directors focus on hiring a CEO with good leadership traits, behaviors, and styles, along with good ethical values and a commitment to social responsibility. Hill-ROM must employ good leaders to retain employee engagement and motivation and to gain competitive advantage while increasing their profits. We will explore employee engagement and how it applies to leadership. Employee disengagement is a problem within many corporations and must be addressed by management to improve employee morale and to retain key talented people. When an employee is not committed to the company they work for and have low morale within the group, they will become disengaged and the work they perform will suffer significantly. Engagement is directly related to how well they are managed within their departments. Management must ensure the employees know that their work is crucial to the company's success and how it is related to the mission and visions of the company. Employees need to feel a positive sense of achievement in their work. One way to gauge this is through an employee engagement survey, which displays the results of those who are active within the company. A competent human resource management team will then put a plan into action if needed. Another topic is the leadership behavior of team management and how teams can work together to improve engagement, morale, and productivity. Two behaviors have been noted, and those are managers who have a great consideration for people and a great consideration for production. These two behaviors together are favorable, and this is called team management. When a leader is focused on the employees and the mission and vision of the company, then this is attributed to a desirable management behavior. Also, team cohesiveness is important while it boosts morale, loyalty, commitment, and a good sense of accomplishment. These can engage the employees into a solid team that works together to prove the company profitable. Hill-ROM's competitor, Stryker, found itself in an employee disengagement situation which needed to be addressed by human resources. During a survey, it was noted that 37% were not engaged and 15% were actively disengaged, which is not up to their standards. The senior human resources officer immediately took action and found that some managers were worse than others and they did want help. They didn't know their employees that were working for them and they had no team cohesiveness. Human resources combined behavioral traits of team management and an engagement plan and involved employees to discuss ideas. They felt there was a lack of communication, so these meetings brought everything out in the open, and the end results were a high employee engagement survey. Another competitor, Medtronic, recently changed CEOs. The former CEO published books on how to lead effectively and was well respected within the company. He believed in teamwork, and when a crisis would occur, he would gather everyone around and make sure there were no secrets. He put everything out there. He believed in communication. Medtronic offers tools to help their employees be their best, such as self-assessments, mentoring programs, leadership programs, and job listings so they can actively participate in their career development plan. Hill-ROM and its competitors have all experienced a rise in their financials. As a company rises and grows, its authority lengthens, which makes the organization taller. Sometimes this can lead to problems with communication and instructions. Leaders will need to communicate to avoid any miscommunication and must be trained in information technology, so all functional departments can communicate more rapidly. For Hill-ROM to continue to be profitable, they must adopt a strong strategic management plan, which involves analyzing their SWOT analysis. Hill-ROM also analyzed their competitors' SWOT and utilized this to add to their existing strategic plan. While analyzing the SWOT, they noted legal issues that may require operational decisions to be changed. Hill-ROM's mission and goals are to deliver first to market products with the latest technology, and the corporate strategy to achieve this is to continue to monitor the possibility of acquisitions to improve their global vision. Their latest acquisitions enhance the outcomes for their patients. With the new global markets and technology change, they must be continually monitoring their business strategy to be competitive and make changes as needed. Hill-ROM will continue to acquire businesses and to add to their collection of medical devices and to continue the lucrative investment portfolio. The weaknesses identified is the loss of the CEO, who has demonstrated continued profits for this company. To continue to be profitable, they need to focus on good leadership traits. Hill-ROM needs teamwork and employee engagement to overcome any issues. Their two competitors were able to successfully overcome a disengagement situation and the hiring of a new CEO. Financials are good and are not a threat, and planning is also not a threat. Hill-ROM is constantly innovating, and their ability to change strategically is a strength. Hill-ROM is ethical and socially responsible, which is another strength. External opportunities and threats are related to Porter's 5 forces model. There is a threat of new entrants with biotech treatments, such as bone, organ, and tissue replacements, which is more restorative than medical devices implanted into patients. Hill-ROM will, however, continue to manufacture the tools to aid in these surgical procedures. The bargaining power of buyers can occur with smaller medical device companies, which can be shut out of sales by larger competitors. Since Hill-ROM is one of the largest in the business, the bargaining power of buyers is not heavily weighted in the SWOT analysis. Threat of substitutes could happen with biotechnology, making some medical devices obsolete. But Hill-ROM is continually innovating and acquiring new businesses to develop the latest technology and will use this to their advantage. Rivalry is the competitive struggle between companies to gain market share. Hill-ROM specializes in 5 areas and works only to solve the issues involved in these 5 areas. When considering the macro environment, global and demographic forces are in Hill-ROM's favor. Hill-ROM has noted the rise in elderly care and has capitalized on this. There are legal issues in which can change things. The US SEC now requires the disclosure of minerals used in devices. Hill-ROM is compliant with the disclosure of any that are used in their devices. Medicare and Medicaid may now limit its reimbursements as well. A major movement in society is now turning toward going green and using more therapeutic ways to treat what ails them. Also, other countries have a lesser advantage than others, and Hill-ROM is socially committed to helping through volunteerism and charity. Hill-ROM has identified their strengths as their expertise in patient handling, mobility, and environment systems, and also their global presence. Their weaknesses are their dependency on group purchasing contracts, which can limit their ability to control their pricing. An opportunity for Hill-ROM is the demographics and aging of the population, and also the problem with obesity. China is a fast-growing market for Hill-ROM, and the need for beds in China is great. Now, the threats for the company is the need to report whether any minerals they use are made from the Democratic Republic of the Congo and or any adjoining countries, and in some cases to perform extensive due diligence on their supply chains for such minerals. This can adversely affect the sourcing, availability, and pricing of the minerals used in their products. The first recommendation would be to hire from within and keep the current CEO on the board for a period of time. The current CEO can work with the new CEO to share his visions with the company. Another recommendation is to send out an employee engagement survey to get feedback on how they perceive this transaction. Meetings can be increased to encourage communication. It is also recommended to hire an executive coach for the new CEO to identify his strengths and weaknesses and work with him to capitalize on the good points. In conclusion, with good practices, the company will transpire well. With careful planning and good leadership, they will emerge with a great new CEO and continue to profit well. I would also like to add that since this report, I have been notified by email that the new CEO, John Grotellars, has been in place since May 14th, and all went well with the initial transition. Thank you.